a friend of mine shared a post. And
What, he post on Facebook or something like that?
On Facebook.
Okay.
Social media. You know how social media can be. And he shared a post that someone else wrote that was definitely celebratory of Bill Cosby getting out of jail. It's clear that it was celebratory of Bill Cosby getting out of jail.
All right. Congratulations, Bill type shit.
More like, can you give him his respect and his money back?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
he went straight for the jugular.
Straight for the jugular.
Okay.
That's the post that my friend shared.
All right.
Not wrote, shared.
All right. So it was somebody else's, and he passed it. He paid it forward.
Sure did, and he loved it. You know how that social media works. He hit the love button. That actually matters because people actually track that down.
No, you like it, and you shared it.
You did
double
not
liked
just
it.
like it.
Right.
You loved it. You put a heart on it,
and you shared it.
And that's where everything took a wicked turn for my last week and a half, because I was
your friend's post.
Yeah, my friend's post, because I was demanded to denounce my friend. It was commanded of me.
Man, well, you wouldn't be too much of a friend if you did that.
I didn't think so.
Right. Okay.
I wondered that.
like that. Gone.
How about if I just say, "Hey, your fault. Bye bye."
So at the end of it, let me ask you: did your friend, backtrack, or did your friend continue and say, "No, this is truly how I feel about this thing"?
Oh, my friend doubled down.
He doubled down. So that's how he felt.
Okay. So the reason for the double down. Okay. So it's not even about Bill Cosby, because I've been really trying to not talk about Bill Cosby.
Right.
In the you and me know 3 years ago.
Right.
When this all happened.
There were so many women and there were so many different voices.
So many things
and
were happening. I was not in the mood to readdress what I already did 3 years ago.
Right, exactly.
I was not in the mood to do that.
Right.
So I didn't want to talk about
And you didn't have to. You didn't have to do that.
That's what I felt.
Wasn't even your statements. Right.
No. See, you're wrong.
What?
Apparently.
Okay.
Because of our privilege in being men.
Okay.
We are needed to speak against anyone who would be misogynistic, who would be a rapist, who would be anyone who would violate women. We are supposed to acknowledge that about other men, and we are supposed to do something about it. I did not realize that.
But who? But that came with the when we were born. That came in the manual or something.
Apparently.
No, that's not true.
I'm learning all kinds of stuff
and that's opinion. And for me now, and I'm not even I'm not even pro or con. Okay, I'm in the middle right now because I think it's very important, that there's some sort of rational thoughts going on, because it can get very emotional quick. So what I mean by that is, I agree that we're not supposed to be in support, of things like that, but to tell us how we're going to deal with it and how we're going to combat it, kind of takes us out of it and puts that other person in us. So, everybody's got an individual contribution that we can add collectively. And it doesn't have to be now, because, and the reason why I'm going to say this, and I know you're going to get back to your story, but so for example, if you called your friend up and said, "Man, what the heck are you doing?"
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. You don't do this. This is, and if you gave it to him, which I know you, and I'm not going to say, if you did or you didn't, but I'm saying if you did that, that's behind closed doors.
Right.
That's within the realm of a friendship. That's what friends do. You don't have to openly come out and say, "This is what I did. This is what I said."
Rules of engagement.
Okay.
Etiquette. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm not supposed to make example out of a friend of mine. I'm not supposed to jump on some kind of bandwagon that wants to actually take a mistake that someone made and amplify it. If there's a mistake that's made and it's triggering to people, that should not be amplified.
Right.
That should be de-escalated. Right? De-escalate. We talk about de-escalation.
And we talked about de-escalation.
We talk about de-escalation.
So
that's supposed to be de-escalated.
So this is the thing. And when you have freedom of speech, Therefore, you have to have freedom of thought. So not everybody's thoughts are going to be the same. Everybody's going to have 100 people in the room are going to have 100 different thoughts. You see? So, and I think the biggest thing is when it's known, when somebody comes out and say, hey, I feel disrespected, or I feel violated, or I feel hurt by that, then I think the person who said it might have a responsibility to address them to say, hey, well, hey, I apologize that you feel hurt, but these are my feelings and this is why. I think that they should have that right, no matter what their thought is, because we're not all the same and we don't feel the same about things. And I think that, that's what makes us, individuals. I mean, that's kind of what our makeup is supposed to be. And I get the politically correctness now. Everybody's got to be politically correct and everybody's got to, walk a fine line. But at the same time, last show, you said that we're going to start, voicing our thoughts, our true inner self. Mm-hmm. So, and that's what I'm doing in response to what you're saying. But I'm sorry, let's get back to you.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, it got deeper than just people's feelings about what Bill Cosby had done and transpired because of my friend making this post.
Right.
And it became very personal within Columbus, Ohio, because there were activists who were triggered by that post.
Oh, man.
They were highly triggered. And because they were triggered by his post and because they demanded I denounce him, somehow their anger for him ended up being deflected onto me. Within 2 days, I was deemed a rape apologist.
Rape apologist.
Rape apologist. Because I would not denounce Bill Cosby. Apparently, if I do not publicly denounce not only Bill Cosby, but my friend as well, I'm supporting people who have violated, who have victimized people. I don't understand how that happened because personally, no one ever asked me what I felt about the Cosby situation.
Right.
But because I did not denounce someone who shared a post, the ultimate point was, it wasn't even about Bill Cosby at the end of the day for me.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I was very concerned about the fact that I was watching a lynch mob be formulated against a friend of mine that I knew. And I knew that the way that he laid his post out, there was reasonings that he did that. He wanted a conversation.
Okay.
That was his original intent, was to extend the conversation off of Bill Cosby and Bill Cosby being released, to extend that conversation into even things we've been dealing with here in Ohio. He wanted to extend that conversation into things like DeWitt McDonald. DeWitt McDonald has been incarcerated for over 26 years, wrongfully. The crime that he was convicted of has been proven, hand over fist, that he's innocent, but he's still in jail. So he wanted conversations like that to be sparked from the fact that this multi-million-dollar man, or if he's broke now, I don't even know. I don't know. We don't care.
Right, we don't.
He wanted the conversation to be extended off of that and how the judicial system continues to throw men on an everyday basis under that jail system. But then we have this case that, it was corrupted from the start. And that's why he's out of jail on a technicality, because of how the judicial system is wrecked. Point is,
reform is needed. You've already said it, right?
I keep trying to not talk about Bill Cosby, but here we are again. I'm talking about Bill Cosby. And the fact is, like I was saying, that this last week, I become a rape apologist. I become someone who supports men who have violated women. And it's all because I did not denounce someone else who shared a post on Facebook. And that's toxic.
Right.
That is toxic behavior, bruh. I can understand where people cannot always agree to disagree. I get that. But when you start trying to actually destroy someone in this world for disagreeing with you, that is toxic. That's toxic. At this point,
Yeah, that's dangerous, man.
yeah, it's very dangerous. At this point, I know that there are people who are concerned about how public what happened in Columbus got. I'm not sure really what to tell them because I was not in control
Right.
of the side that made this so public. There was a side that made this so public that they wanted to destroy me. There was a woman who said that she felt like the hands of her rapist from 2019 were now combined with my hands on her. I don't know why. I don't know what I did besides the fact that I did not join a lynch mob against this young black man because I've never made any statement whatsoever. But that's what happened. She put that, my daughter saw that statement. My daughter saw her say that I have re-victimized women who have survived sexual assaults.
Wow.
I don't know how I did that. No one ever even explained to me or educated me on how I did that. People they grew their lynch mob against me to keep saying that statements that I was making did that. And I asked them to show me what I said. And no one can show me anything at all. No one can educate me on the mistake I made.
Right.
At all.
Right.
So I just end up getting stuck in I did wrong, but will not be taught, will not learn from my mistake because no one's willing to teach me that. The new form of culture that we have, there's rules that we don't know.
Yeah.
And
sure.
We're expected to live up to those rules that we don't know.
Right.
And that's just what happened. So at first I thought, I had to think about it. What did I do? But now I'm like, okay, no, I didn't do anything. And I think what made it worse was the people who were after me even made up lies just to try to sway me to make public statements. They were extorting me, honestly. They started saying I was physically threatening people. They said I physically threatened people. They started trying to raise money.
GoFundMe.
To help people that I physically threatened, and that never happened.
Wow.
And I'm not even trying to laugh it off, man. That was deep. That was deep. I'm okay with it because I know I had every bit of proof that said, no, this never happened.
Yeah.
This never happened. And they really quietly just stopped. Never admitted that they've done anything wrong, never apologized to anyone. They disrespected one of the most important mothers that most of us are out on these streets for in this entire assault. This last week and a half, they've attacked people that were supposed to be the most important people in their world to them, and they just did not agree.
Wow.
That's how, one thing I can say for sure, man, there's a lot of underlying mental health issues in all of this. It's been very seeable now with all the people who are saying they've been triggered by Bill Cosby.
Mm-hmm.
If you are triggered that much, first and foremost, get off of social media.
Right.
Because there's a lot of garbage on social media that will continue to trigger you. And that is an evil in your life that you got to get out. You got to stop that. I have no problems. At one point in this, I was banned off Facebook for 3 days, and I was good with it.
You got kicked off Facebook.
Yeah, of course I did. Of course I did. Because, come on, man. Like when people are telling me, don't worry about it, leave it alone, don't care about the people who are attacking you.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not good at that. That's not a skill I have. Ignore people who are attacking me. I don't understand the words coming out of your mouth right now. And then on top of that, a friend of mine made a mistake. And I literally saw people saying that he was made into a hashtag to cancel him. And there was like over 200 some comments on that post that he shared. Wow. Talking about pretty much we're going to get you.
You got to be careful, right?
That's a lynch mob.
Yeah,
man.
That's crazy, man.
I got triggered by that because I started thinking like, am I being flashbacked to like 1850s or whatever when they started creating those lynch mobs and people were mad at that black man because he looked at the woman wrong and
that was reckless eyeballing.
That was triggering.
Right.
So I mean, what am I supposed? Am I supposed to just close my eyes and turn around? Because I don't feel that's who I am. Honestly, I don't see that being me ever to just say, "Oh, that black man's about to get his ass lynched." I don't see it.
Right.
I don't. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. I think they don't realize, man, especially the younger people, that when you fight, the people that you're going to be fighting is going to be fighting back. And I think that always throws me off. You never realize, like, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And what is the other person going to be doing while you're doing all that?
I just realized what you were saying, though. Yeah, because when you talking about a young person is talking about, I'm going to side kick him to his head.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah.
Drop down.
Yeah, and I'm like, and they just going to be standing there waiting like,
yes.
Hit me.
Because that's what they do in the movies, isn't it?
That's crazy.
The guy stands there like, ooh.
Well,
I mean, that's what
I'm sure it was a rude awakening. And the positive thing that I can say, and, I definitely try to give a little positive perspective, is I see beauty in this. And the reason why I see beauty in this is because when me and you really first started, and you were getting me to try to see kind of what's going on, kind of some of the subjects that we were going to be talking about, and I just really couldn't see it. And then I finally start watching Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. And I remember sharing like, hey, man, I saw the Uncomfortable Conversations. And this is definitely, for some people, an uncomfortable conversation.
It's almost beyond that.
Right. So I guess what I'm saying is I see us now living out, you know what I'm saying, that thought that we were thinking then and the view that we were seeing then. And another opportunity is I hope there's learning that's being done through this whole situation on both sides. I hope there's learning. I hope there's learning for the people who, are looking to start a lynch mob. You see what I mean? And I think that there's, the people that are quick to jump on these lynch mobs. They jump on these bandwagons, man, so quickly without researching if those things are true. So by feelings, by emotions, by theatrics, people was able to throw a GoFundMe out there. You see, you got to be careful, people, because, it's not always what they say. And it's very possible that there's a bad interpretation of what was said. So I think the conversation is needed. The clarity is needed without the demands on how you do it, because we all communicate differently. But I'm sure that if we sat down and we actually listen, we could probably understand somebody's, point of view.
One thing that's been learned, and I did not want this lesson to be learned the way it was, there's expectations that are being formulated without people's knowledge. There's expectations. The way I've described it to people is we have, and this is not Columbus, Ohio. This is the state. This is the nation. This may be the world. One thing people are starting to see is that white allyship is not free. I think that's been one of the biggest issues that we've had to deal with all this.
Okay, break it down for us. White allyship.
The best way to describe it is because I was told literally, me ignoring the pain that this has caused the people who were triggered. Us ignoring it as men, us ignoring the pain that this has caused them, is similar to them ignoring when they see racism affect our lives. Apparently, if they see something racist happening against us, they have to stand up and speak out, or they're part of the problem. If we see something happen against them, we are supposed to stand up and support them, or we're part of the problem. We are now realizing that for the last year since George Floyd's death, that there have been people who are out there supporting us because when it comes time for us to support them, they expect that. And if we don't give that to them, our silence is violence. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because
Yes.
it took me a while to really
I definitely
understand.
wanted to process it before I said anything.
I put you on the spot.
I see. You know what I
put
mean?
you on the spot.
Thank you.
Because
I appreciate that, brother.
I had time to process what I just heard.
Wow. So, okay, but I can understand that. I can understand them feeling like that. Now, do I think that, you know what I'm saying, your support should come with a cost? Of course not. And I don't think that you should be able to say exactly what you got to do in return and when you got to return. Because, see, the one thing that you don't realize is you never know what's offensive to someone else sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. So, something might have offended them, and you don't know that they were offended by this thing. And you might have perspective to give on this same situation that might allow them to be able to process it better. So I think the conversation is very, very, very vital is what I'm saying. I think that opportunity, yes, and I think that should be said like, hey, we supported you with George Floyd. Now you need to support us with Bill Cosby. Well, let's see exactly why Bill Cosby got released. Because nobody's saying anything about the reform that we're always talking about that it looks like because of more corruption is the reason why he was released.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what we were saying but saying, wait a minute, if he got released because he should have never been in there because of something that was agreed, through the DA or what have you, then this needs to be brought out. And people need to talk about this as well. So, I can understand, and believe me, I was the one, like you said, that got you to come to the cases and read and listen to the women and say, hold on, bro, there's too many voices for you remember.
Since you went there.
Yes.
You went there. So I'm not doing it under threat of extortion.
Right. Got you.
I'm not doing this under any other circumstance except I'm sitting here talking to my big brother.
Right.
Who is the one who wanted me to be fully educated on this case?
Yes.
I have screenshots of the person who started this.
Yes.
One of the people, there was multiple people who started this, said if I would just publicly denounce Bill Cosby and my friend, that they would make all this okay. It was a clear statement.
Okay.
I'll back my crew up off if you just give in. I never felt that Cosby was a good guy for a long time. Even though he visually, when I was a child, once I hit teenage years, man, that's when the book came out and he was on his tours and he was telling us, how bad we were.
Right.
And just
as a people. Right.
Yeah. And we were not right. And then I guess once the trial happened and we found out way more things about Bill Cosby than people really want to accept.
Right, for sure.
Beyond the fact that, I believe 100%. If you're going to ask me at the end of the day, did he ever take advantage of a woman who was out on drugs, passed out? For sure.
Right.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that in any way. I would never argue that. I would never defend that. I would just ask, please, can we get some proof? Because this man should have never got out of jail. And that's judicial system right there.
Right.
Period. It was a corrupted way to get him in, and that released him on a technicality. And that's what we've been fighting for years, is how corrupt the system is.
Reform isn't needed, man.
So, there's men in jail who are 100% innocent, and there's men getting out of jail who are 100% guilty.
Right.
That's what the judicial system does, especially when you have the money and the power.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And you know what? I can say that about Bill Cosby without any problems. And the only reason I could never actually make that statement is because people try to lynch mob a black man in Columbus, Ohio, and I just could not be a part of the lynch mob.
Right.
I never got to make a statement because I was being extorted to make a statement.
Yeah.
Just to hurt the young black man. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I don't care. I was willing to, see how the chips fell and, just have faith in my peoples around me. And I can't tell you how extraordinary everybody around me has been.
Support, huh?
Oh, man. The only reason, everybody, because I kept getting calls every day the week and a half, because people were really thinking I was over here in the corner, oh, God, I'm being attacked. Everybody's getting to me. And I'm actually riding this one out, man. I'm making it worse in some cases. Because I'm just like, no, I can do this. This is a battle that you brought into me when I know 100%. There's not one thing you're about to say that's right. And that's real. And that's true. So, bruh, I'm made to battle. And when you give me an easy elementary game, I'm just sitting there like,
Yeah, I already know.
I wasn't even sweating in it. It's just like, oh, serious? Did you really just say that in public? And
You think it's that easy, huh? You think a victory's that easy over me, huh?
It's sad.
Right.
It was so sad. And I saw people like saying, why does this have to be? I don't know. You got to ask the bully who started it.
Well, at the end of the day, I hope there's lessons learned, man. I hope, they learned lessons, and I hope, everybody involved learned lessons. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. You learn lessons so that way you don't have to continue to go that way, or you can make different decision next time that'll make it better if in the long term. So,
and unfortunately, for those who will not be able to learn a lesson, it's time to part ways and respectfully agree to disagree and say goodbye. I wish the best for you.
Yeah, that's grown-up stuff.
That's how this works. It's grown-up stuff.
Movement of the people. Welcome to Exodus Nation.